kind of get to break down some of the fears that you have. You start learning a little bit about how to socialize more and how these things kind of translate into your other life, your career, how you interact with people at work, how you interact with your friends. Just by taking up more of a leadership role, being able to, I've never held a large meeting before, and just through going up and talking to random people and starting up conversations on the fly with them, you know, I've been able to build up those skills. And, you know, when I go up to have a stand up in front of 27 people for 2.5 hours, it kind of is a lot more smoother. It's the first time I've actually ever kind of done a meeting that big. And I'd done smaller meetings before and things were kind of awkward and didn't really mesh out well because I was stuttering a bit and I had fidgety hand gestures and stuff. But, you know, once you start kind of going through the meat grinder, as they say, and going through the worst of it, holding a meeting with 27 people for 2.5 hours is nothing. It's like a walk in the park. Non-existent. So, you know, I've known a handful of girls that I've gone out with and had long-term relationships with, and you know, they're usually people that I knew beforehand as friends, or one of them was a coworker. And this is kind of like a 360 spin on things, or I guess a 180 spin on things, not a 360, because if it was 360, it would be back in the same place. It's kind of a 180 spin on things, whereas before I would try to approach people that I knew and I was familiar with. Now what I'm doing is I'm approaching girls that they don't know me from a hole in the wall. I could be just some random stranger. I am some random stranger when I go up and talk to them. And they're generally nice, and, you know, they're generally responsive. And I see at least one, I set things up with at least 1 or 2 a week. Just girls that I just meet on the street and I just go up and say hello to and introduce myself to. Whereas before, like I said, just a handful of girls that I generally knew beforehand that I just met through friends or met at work. I got immense benefit from it through generally all aspects of my life. I'm more of a social person now. I'm more of a leader kind of at work. I take more of a leadership role. I have the courage to go talk to strangers, whether they be men, women, old people, young people. It doesn't matter. Coaching and after coaching is kind of night and day, right? Before coaching, I would have never done anything like this. After coaching, if I see an attractive, you know, if I see somebody who I find really, really attractive, I'll just say, you know, fuck it. I'll go up and I'll say hello and I'll introduce myself, and whatever happens, happens. And to be honest, most of the time, they're, you know, really nice.